If it wasn't for top 5 or top 10 lists, us Call of Duty YouTubers might actually have to make interesting content. So, I thank God for these, but at the same time, do you? Probably not. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy my list. Ooh, almost burped. Right in the intro, almost burped. We're good though. Don't eat and record, kids. For the purposes of this video, we are going to be assuming the next Call of Duty is Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, which some people don't like that title, but for some reason it bothers me less than Black Ops 4, so I don't know, screw me, right? Now, I don't want any of you to take this list too seriously for 2 reasons. I don't, and it's not a big deal. These are just some things like, hey, yeah, I'd like to see this in the next Call of Duty game. I care about Call of Duty. I look forward to buying every new Call of Duty. I'm just a sheep, so let me talk about the things I want. If you don't want to hear them, click away now. The first thing I want in Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War would be Gunsmith. I want the Gunsmith from Modern Warfare. That's a big thing for me. I know that some people might not think that there'd be a lot of customization options, but technically the entirety of the Cold War went from 1947 to 1991. I'm almost positive off the top of my head that that's true. There's a lot going on between 47 and 91. There's so many things they could do customization-wise, but really, I just want to be able to make the Patriot from Metal Gear Solid 3. I mean, who wouldn't? It's a Cold War era video game, hell yeah.
From the looks of it, it's fitted with a 100-round drum magazine. And it never runs out of ammo?
Never.
Why is that?
Because the internal feed mechanism is shaped like an infinity symbol.
Ah, I get it.
If Black Ops Cold War is a thing, I really hope it takes us through the 50s, through the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, and the 90s throughout the campaign. I would love to see how that plays out. And then the multiplayer could sort of just be Cold War themed, and they could do pretty much whatever they wanted with it within reason. I just hope it's sort of gritty and grounded with a couple of fun customization options, similar to Modern Warfare, but hopefully a little bit toned down because it's not the modern day. The Cold War is kind of a nebulous concept for a first-person shooter. You can do a lot with it. There's a lot going on. I do think it should be more grounded than Modern Warfare in terms of aesthetic and theme, but for the most part, just sort of have it be 80s, 60s, 70s, 50s themed. I think that'd be a lot of fun. One of the thoughts I had for Cold War's Gunsmith would be that maybe an optic costs an attachment point similar to how it does in Modern Warfare, or for free you can just swap out a weapon's iron sights. I think iron sight customization would be kind of a cool feature to have in a Call of Duty game. Modern Warfare gets close by allowing you to customize your iron sights based on what variant of a gun you're using. I would love to be able to just swap out a ton of different iron sights for, let's say, my M16 or my FAL. I really hope we get a return to what we saw in Call of Duty Black Ops 1, where you sort of had this fictionalized theme to it while still feeling grounded in history. And there was something cool about having an M16 with a flamethrower on the bottom of it, or being able to have, these different infrared scopes that people likely weren't putting on their LMGs. Grenade launchers, master keys, drum mags, I really want to see Modern Warfare level customization, but hopefully with a little bit more purpose and refinement. Basically, I want a lot less useless attachments and a lot less blatantly, obvious choices. So, hopefully Gunsmith returns for Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. They have a lot of things to choose from if the game encompasses the entirety of what we would call the Cold War. The next feature is a really small one, really simple. Everybody wants it. Map voting. Map voting needs to be in every Call of Duty without the option to replay a map. When a map comes up that you like, you play it, you enjoy it, you don't make other people that don't want to play it have to keep playing it with you because you and your entire squad of 6 really want to play Nuketown again. I don't like that. But map voting seriously needs to be a thing. The fact that it's not in Modern Warfare is embarrassing, frustrating, and just puzzling. At the end of every game, every player gets returned to a lobby where they can vote for 2 different maps or a random map. 3 choices for the entire lobby should be good. The next thing I want to see carry over from Modern Warfare, other than the Gunsmith, is field upgrades. Field upgrades is a nice, in my opinion, middle ground between the Division system in COD World War II and the Specialist system in Infinite Warfare Black Ops 3 and Black Ops 4. It's something that becomes unique to your operator that is able to recharge and be activated by your bumpers, but it isn't an overpowered thing. They're like little support tools. There's something that could have been a lethal or a tactical or a support streak in previous COD games, but instead they just recharge faster if you get kills. I like that they recharge at different rates, and I really just enjoy the concept of field upgrades in general. I like that I can have an EMP drone and a recon drone, or an ammo box and deployable cover, or dead silence and attack insert. There's so many different ways to customize your playstyle with a field upgrade that goes beyond your create a class, and I really enjoy that, so hopefully those return. Let me know any Cold War era field upgrades you guys can think of. I couldn't think of any off the top of my head, but some of the basic ones like attack insert or an ammo box, I really like that idea. This next one is a little bit controversial, but I want Call of Duty Ghosts Wow, I fucked that up. I want Call of Duty Ghosts create a class system. Call of Duty Ghosts create a class system is by far my favorite, but also was the least refined. Call of Duty Ghosts' big problem with its create a class system is it had too many crutches. Quick draw, stalker, focus, ready up, dead silence. There was just too many crutches. There was too many obvious choices. Some of the other perks just sort of fell by the wayside. So, with a gunsmith system comparable to Modern Warfare's, we have a ton of weapon customization, which means your perks can be more focused on player traits instead of movement-based things. Flinch can be handled by a weapon perk, aim walking movement speed and aim down sight speed can be handled by stocks and grips and different types of foregrips and barrels. That's what that should be. And then the perks can be stuff like tracker, sit rep, EOD or flak jacket, extra tactical, extra lethal. And then when a perk is considered overpowered or overused or just too much of an obvious choice, the developers can shake things up by adding a higher point value to it, because every perk has a different point value that takes away from your 10 points that you can have. I think it should be that your primary, secondary, lethal, and tactical all take up a point. Your attachments that you put on your primary and secondary, those should be free, but the act of selecting a weapon, lethal or tactical, should take away from the amount of points you have to spend on perks. You start with 10, and then you can lose up to 4 before even selecting a perk by using lethal, tactical, primary, and secondary, only leaving you 6 points for your perks. So if you want 2 3-point perks, you're tapped. This would be so great for pistol-only users. You don't have to waste a point on a primary. You can just run a pistol and dedicate your class to that pistol. It would also reduce equipment spam because people would have a reason to leave their frag grenades in their pockets and instead go with a perk that maybe helps their playstyle more. But unlike Call of Duty Ghosts or the Pick 10 systems of COD's past, it wouldn't be the fun police. You still could put 5 or 6 attachments on your weapon depending on whatever they decide. So the gunsmith is completely separate from the points that go to your class. You just need a point to pick the weapon. Hopefully that makes sense. That's something I would really like. It's less of a feature and more of just a concept for a create a class system, which would just be Call of Duty Ghost system, but more refined and just overall better. I think it's cool that an underused perk could have its point value lowered, or an overused perk could have it raised, without having to change the way the perks work. It just has to be more of a give and take situation to pick it. So let's say Dead Silence starts as a 2-point perk when the game comes out. Everyone finds it to be a little overpowered, so they raise it up to being a 3-point perk. That changes the entire way you build your class just by doing that, and I think that's very cool, so hopefully they do that. If you guys are listening, take my idea, there's no patent on it, please do it. Lastly, I think night vision mode would be amazing in a game with older style night vision goggles where there's less detail in them, they're fuzzier, they're lower quality. I would love that. Modern Warfare nailed their night maps. I want more night maps in Modern Warfare. I've already made a video about that. I love creeping around in the dark, especially in private matches or just looking at it. It's beautiful. The night mode in Modern Warfare is spectacular. I wish more people liked it. I wish more people would play it, but I would love that, but a little bit more vintage. Again, fuzzier goggles with less range and everything would be terrifying and scary and cool. Especially if they did it on ground war style maps. Imagine large maps 32v32 where it's pitch black and everyone has crappy night vision goggles. I would love that. There's something so unique and limiting about it that I think Call of Duty should definitely explore. There's almost a horror element to it. I mean, Infected NVG was really fun in Modern Warfare, and I want to see it return with Cold War. So those are the features I want. I want Gunsmith, map voting, field upgrades, Call of Duty Ghost created class system, but better. And please, for the love of God, let night maps and night mode return. I really want it. There's other things I want as well. I want realism back. I'd be okay with a pick 10 system. There's lots of things. A big feature, to me that would be a feature. The lack of Nuketown would be fantastic. I'm so sick of that map. But that's the only things that were on the top of my head today while I was thinking about what could be in Cold War, so I thought I'd share it with you. Obviously, I'll talk more about Cold War throughout the year and into its life cycle. And maybe Cold War never comes out, it's a stupid leak, and instead we get Infinite Warfare 2. I don't fucking know. I have no idea what's going on. But I do think it would be very cool to get these features, and let me know what you guys think about them in the comment section below. I want to know what you guys want from the next Call of Duty game. And before you guys say it, yes, I don't want skill-based matchmaking either, it's just not something I'm putting in my list. See you when I see you guys. Thank you for watching. Yeah, those are the two things. Thank you for watching. See ya. Goodbye.